Good morning, good afternoon, good night, everybody. So I want to give you guys an update on my brother's condition. Remember, he has pancreatic cancer. For anyone who's watching, I just want to pretty much help you guys guide through this, and anybody who ever dealt with anybody with cancer, because it's common enough that you never know when it may happen to you or a loved one. And plus, it kind of helps me get it out a little bit for the few people who are watching. So thank y'all for watching. Anyways, so I'm in the last Friday of August right now, and Tuesday was the first day of my brother starting his chemotherapy. Now, to save you guys a long video, it actually didn't go through. He didn't start chemotherapy. And I have to tell you guys why, just in case that you guys ever run into the situation with your family members or friends, and or if you go through it. There's a couple of prerequisites that you have to go through. Now, I kind of remember from the other videos, I was letting you guys know my own personal feelings and some of the things I was going through. But in the last 2 to 3 weeks, mainly it was more of the care of me and my mom looking after him until we get to the first day of him doing chemotherapy. Now, there was some things that I noticed already off back that, remember, it's only been about 6 or 7 weeks since my brother came back sick, and he's lost a lot of weight when he first came back. Now, first thing I must say is in the last 2 weeks alone, what I mean by that is 2 weeks ago, he was weighed, right, by the hospital. Now, I saw his condition. I saw how his walking paced, how can he get up on his own, like certain things, functions that we do as humans, he could used to kind of do it on his own. He did lose weight, but 2 weeks ago, he was still functionally moving around enough. Now, I'll get to that a little bit later. So when you're waiting before you do your chemotherapy, your doctor and everything, your oncologist, that's what they call, they're going to prescribe you a certain amount of pills you got to take. Now, they give you the Oxycontin, right? The Oxycontin for the severe pain that you're gonna go through, right? Now they give you these four to other five pills. I don't have all five bottles, but these are the pills that they're gonna have to take while they're on chemotherapy. You have prochlorperazine, right? Prochlorperazine, whatever, right? That is pretty much, this prevents you from vomiting, right? You're gonna vomit a lot, and it's supposed to reduce the amount of vomiting, right? The second one is olanzapine or zapine. This is pretty much supposed to increase your appetite and allow your the patient to sleep, right? So this is supposed to boost appetite and allows better sleep. The third would be loperamide or leperamide. Now this is supposed to be taken for diarrhea, and take this every 2 hours or one capsule every 4 hours at night until resolved. So this is if you have the diarrhea, this is supposed to reduce the amount of diarrhea, but this could also create constipation in it. This is because they can't hold their bowels. Then you have this one, which is called dexamethasone. This is supposed to be, it's supposed to increase the amount of energy, but it's also supposed to reduce the amount of swelling, and it actually increases your appetite. Dexamethasone. Now, there's supposed to be another fifth one. I couldn't find the pill or whatever. It was a smaller bottle. Yeah, it was a smaller bottle, and it's supposed to be an even stronger pill for vomiting. I forgot the name of it, but it's 5 pills that he doesn't have to take these all every day, but they're there for when you're going through the chemotherapy. When you're at home, this will prevent you from throwing up, pretty much holding your bowels together, and it'll increase your appetite because you have to eat. You're going to be throwing up and losing so much liquids that they need you to want to eat so you can be able to have a fighting chance, right? Cool. And still, some of this you're not really supposed to take the oxy. With some of it, it's a lot. All right, so we did get a lot of that stuff that gives you proper information. You read it and whatever. Cool. Now let's go back to the weight thing. So about 2 weeks ago, he was weighed, and I wasn't there, but he was weighed. Now in the last 2 weeks, I was making a lot of protein shakes for him. I was making with water or with almond milk. You have to pick foods and stuff that doesn't have a lot of sugar or a lot of sugar, but you do want stuff to have a little bit of salt in it because you have to get his electrolytes up, right? A lot of those, they're important, right? You'd be surprised when you're going through this type of cancer or any type of cancer. I'm assuming is pretty much what it does is it prevents you from eating. Think about if you're fasting and you're never eating, right? So when you don't eat, and you're kind of drinking a little bit of water, you're still alive. So your body starts to eat the protein out of your muscle and it eats up all the fats. So that's why people have rapid weight loss, because it's like a prolonged fast. And the thing is, At least with a person, when you're regularly functioning, when you start fasting, you want to eat, so you'll eat, you'll drink water, so that there's a primal hormonal control of your body that it will do it innately. Because the cancer affects his pancreas, which affects these type of hormones, his body isn't telling him to eat. His body isn't telling him he's hungry, and his body's also telling him that, hey, I'm kind of full, right? So he can't consume a certain amount of food because either number one, he's not hungry, he feels full, and or because he has this fluid buildup in his abdomen, not his stomach, his abdomen, where the pretty much your body secretes this fluid into the abdomen, and and that presses down on your intestines, right, and your digestive system. And because the pancreatic cancer, the cancer of the pancreas is affecting his digestive system, it's necessarily just turning off and not making it function, and or making it severely constipated that it just shuts off completely. So he, even if he tries to get consumed food down, the food just sits there and stagnates. It doesn't go anywhere. You see what I'm saying? And he's not getting his necessary nutrients through his small intestines and the large intestines. Nothing's functioning properly. So I was trying my best to get him to eat and drink, and I'm not here with him every day. My mom was, and she worked in the healthcare system, well, in the elderly healthcare system for about 20 for her whole life. So she's seen people with this same thing, everything. She's seen it. She has the experience for it. And even then, she's just like, he's not drinking water, he's not eating. And I know in my mind, if he's not consuming food and he's not drinking water, he's severely dehydrated and severely malnourished. So from about 2 weeks ago till this week, there was a deterioration of his functions. He could barely get out of bed on his own. He needed to be pulled out. He can still make it to the bathroom and kind of pee on his own. He was having a discharge, not discharge, but kind of burn when he peed a little bit. Um, uh, it's very weak. He couldn't, and then within the last week, he couldn't even have any passing stool, so that you know that there was a buildup of constipation, there, right? And he's not consuming water, Gatorade, nothing, and he's in bed more and more just because he doesn't have the energy. Remember, your body's just eating his protein. So I'm just saying to myself, told my mom, this isn't good, and I told my mom straight up. I said, listen, mom, uh, I'm not ready for this. And it's not that you don't want to be there for your family member. It's like, I'm not ready for this because where he is right now, I know chemotherapy is going to take away a more percentage of whatever he can do right now, to the point that he might not be to be able to function. He might just be pretty much a vegetable, if you know what I mean, right? And to say this about my brother's crazy. I've cried enough, you know? And my mother, like, we just got to pray. We just got to pray. And I'm a religious man in the sense that I believe in God. But there's just, and God has tested me and showed me some things. But this one, I'm just like, I had to release the control of, like, this is not in my hands. This is going to have to go in the hands of God and whoever's in control. Hopefully we have the best doctors that are on it and the best plans, whatever they're going to do. So now we're coming to the date. And even in the day of going there, I'm like, I had to run to go get the car. And I'm like, all right, well, just help him downstairs, Mom. I'll be back. And Mom was like, I can't, because I can't. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he was walking down the stairs about 2 weeks ago, but he's been in the house for 2 weeks. And I've seen him walk. I've seen him functionally move, right? But because he's been in the house and I guess I've only been seeing him the way I've seen him, well, guess what? My brother can't walk down the stairs. I was like, what do you mean? So I try to see him take 1 or 2 steps. He can't. So I had to help him down the stairs, which almost took maybe 10 minutes to go down 4 flights of stairs. And I was like, there's no way they're going to give him chemo today. If they give him chemo today, he can't get home. Like, what am I supposed to do? Carry him up the 4 flights of stairs, which I would do. But my brother is going to be at the closest to death doing so. Because if you can't walk and function, you're not holding your bowels, you're holding your vomit, and he's not eating, he's not drinking, how does he have a fighting chance? Get him down the stairs, whatever. We walked down the stairs. Took us a while, right? Made sure he was all right. Got him in the car. Get there. They now they have to do the blood work first, right? So they did the blood work, and the blood work came back all levels depleted. There was like no blood, low blood sugar, low everything, high whatever the bad stuff is, and it was just like, this blood work is not good. And then they weighed him. Now, they did everything in kg, but here's a quick example. Kg, where's my other phone? Well, it was in kg. So kg, his weight 2 weeks ago prior was about 85 kg. 2 weeks later, it's 73. Now, kg is kilograms or whatever, y'all know what I'm talking about, but that's not 10 pounds different. That's about almost 20 pounds of muscle my brother's lost in 2 weeks. That's not fat. Like, some of it is probably a percentage of fat, but where my brother was 2 weeks ago, where he is now, is a drastic change. And I was seeing it, and I'm like, this is crazy. So even the nurse was like, yeah, this is not good, because they know they deal with this stuff. When all the red flags are going up, I'm like, this is a red flag. This is fire long red flag. So they ended up saying, hey, listen, he's severely dehydrated. Like, that morning, he couldn't even talk because he almost even lost his voice. And I'm trying to get him to drink water, to drink Gatorade, to drink electrolytes, and he cannot. Like, it's like a little bit go in, and he's just like, I can't. And it's crazy. And I'm like looking at my brother passing away in front of me, and I'm just like, I don't want my brother to go through this pain, you know? Anyway, to continue. So they move him. They said we don't have to take you to the ER, but because I'm already in the hospital, they already could kind of do that on that part, the cancer side. So they already put him on a drip, try to get more electrolytes into the system. Boom, right, to hydrate him. Then they're doing a bunch of different tests already on that. They have to take more blood work for other stuff. And they was taking the blood work, and he's losing and tired, like extremely weakened now, because now they're taking blood and he ain't got much, right? And they couldn't even get the thing in the needle in his skin because he was so malnourished and so dehydrated. All right, so they did that to get some more blood in the water in the system, whatever. And then there was like doctors came, and there was just like, yeah, we are not going to do a first round chemo today. Your vitals all nowhere, like, just, we can't. You are not in a position to be able to give us it because it will knock you out. That's the safest word they could say. It will knock you out, which pretty much means kill you. Sorry, YouTube. So they said, we're going to put you in an emergency room. Now, luckily, my brother worked there for almost 3 decades. And he knows almost everybody, or somehow people know him, so they are making things happen for him. We go to the ER, they give him every scan. They give him CAT scan, MRI, something with the heart, something like these different machines. I don't know how to name it, but they were running through every machine, different blood work they were taking from him, and they're just taking all his blood. I'm like, this is a lot, right? They're taking piss samples from him. They doing everything while he's in ER, going through it, whatever, right? So he's getting hydrated more, and my brother's in extreme pain now. Like, the pain is increasing, and it increased a lot within the last week. And all I'm thinking to myself is, if he hasn't been eating, but if the pain is building up, is that because of his constipation, maybe, or whatever? Because before he was eating, but he wasn't eating, like he wouldn't eat food. Like, he would, in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, he was kind of eating potatoes and like chicken. I told my mom, stop doing that. Don't give him any more. Give him baby food, because his system cannot process that. So that's when she listened, and I started making him shakes that were very low carb shakes. It had like strawberries in it, protein in it, peanut butter. It had all the daily multivitamins in it. I crushed that stuff up and put it in the blended. So like, it was like a shot of everything you need in your shake. And that's what I was trying to give him. And even then, he couldn't take any more of that because of the system. So there was like, yeah. So they ended up giving him had put him on what's the word, morphine, to help him with some of the pain. And then it was just like, yeah, we're gonna try to get him to bed, and he's gonna have to stay the night, right? So then the cancer doctor ended up coming over there to talk to us, and he was just, he looked more into the paperwork and all the scans, and then he said, yeah, yeah, he's definitely gonna have to stay overnight. And on top of that, it was like, we can't give this to him until he's into a better condition, or we can stabilize him, right, into a better place. Because right now, he's severely dehydrated, he's severely malnourished. Like, they're looking to, like, potassium in his blood and pretty much certain metrics in his blood to say, hey, he's ready, and he's not there. So they have to like give him a feeding tube and everything. Cool. So we ended up staying there for about 12 hours. They ended up getting him in bed. Like we was there from 9 and I left at like 9 at night. Cool. So we stayed in bed. We got him in the bed and was like, we'll see you the next day. Whatever, right? Cool. I didn't get to see him the next day because I had work. My mom went to go see him. And pretty much what they had to do is they had to put like something called an NG tube. Or now what this tube is used for is it goes down the nose, right? Down the nose. Because I guess because if it goes down the mouth, you know, whatever, the nose is a little different. And what this tube is supposed to do is suck out whatever's in his stomach, like stomach that's backed up, like, you know, hate to say it, it's constipated. So it's whatever food or drinks is just sitting in there, just not going anywhere, if you know what I mean, and suck that out. And or some of it could be whatever's backed up from his small intestine or large intestine. You get what I'm trying to say, guys. So it's sucking out nothing but this brown liquid, like out. And he's up and functional, but it's sucking it out, and it's a lot. It's disgusting. They ended up having to give him like a suppository for his behind, and that's supposed to release and get rid of whatever's in there too. So what they're doing yesterday, I was pretty much yesterday or the last 2 days, was pretty much cleaning out his whole digestive system. Whatever the blockage is, just get rid of that again. And they had to do that before 6 weeks ago. So they did that to remove that, to get that up and running, right? Now that they're gonna take the NG tube out in a little while, but the thing is, he still has a buildup of the fluid in his abdomen, not his stomach. His abdomen. It's two different fluids here, and they have to get that out too. But the thing is, he can't, even though they removed a lot of the blockage in the still in his large intestine, he still has a pressure from that liquid in his abdomen. And they still have to wait till his blood work gets a little bit up, so now they can remove. They said something about they have to wait till his blood gets to a certain level, so that his blood sugar is too low, to now remove the fluid in his stomach. Now, when they remove the fluid out of his stomach, that allows his organs to now expand, and then he can be able to eat again, if you know what I mean, right? So it's like we're fighting so much different things at different times, and it's just like, while we're trying to just get him to blood levels to be to a certain level, his blood pressure was super low, right? Get his blood levels to be a certain level. Then you have to get the stuff out of his stomach. Now, his abdomen. That stuff collects almost every week. It's a consistent thing. Like it fills up the abdomen with that fluid liquid, and it has to be drained almost weekly now, right? That's the frequency. And they have to get the blood level to a certain level to be able to do that. And then once we do that, get that out, the blood level, then we have to now try to feed him and then get his system to not eat that. But then and once he gets his system to eat it, we're not going to have to drain him again. While just trying to get this stuff to work till he can get to the level of just getting to the first round of chemotherapy, guess what? Cancer's not taking a break. It's not taking a break. It's not like, oh, you going through this stuff, let's just take a break. No, he's still losing muscle mass every day. At least in this case now, he's in a space where they have all the resources and people way smarter than me that do this every day to be able to try to stabilize him. Because whatever me and my mom was doing, we're family members, but we don't have the resources and machines to make sure he's good. He was essentially dying in front of us, and we're just like, this is not okay. Brother's 50. It's tough, man. So as of right now, he's in the hospital. And I remember one of the social workers ended up giving me a call yesterday or the day before, and it was like, oh, yeah, we're just calling to let you know the status of your brother. Mind you, I'm already in contact with everybody at the hospital because my brother was there for freaking 25 years. So he knows all the directors, and people are stopping by to make like 50 of his coworkers, not 15, 50 of his coworkers came by to check on him just the day I was there, you know? So he knows enough people up the ladder, and I'm already in contact. They have my number to call me, let me know how he's doing. And the social worker calls me. It was like, yeah, we're gonna get a physical therapist soon. We want to get him functional so that we can get his release date or whatever date that he could be released to go home. And I was like, I just told straight up, I've been told he's not coming home. I've been told that they have to get all these certain things up to certain metrics, and he's gonna start his first round of chemo at the hospital. And that goes to another point. So the cancer doctor told me, he said, yeah, we want for him to get to a better level, and then we're going to give him chemo at the hospital. Because the thing is, they said, number one, you guys you don't have the resources or be able to give him the care he needs. Yeah, I can't, because if we give him the chemo, even if it gets better, y'all not gonna be able to handle this, and y'all won't be able to monitor what he's dealing with compared to us. And let's be quite honest, right? It's not like my mom was calling the hospital every day, like, okay, he's not eating, he's not drinking. Like, she wasn't doing that. And to be honest, I didn't know who to contact either. When I took the doctor's number, he gave me like the basic number where you call to get the clerks. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't want a doctor like that. I want a doctor where I can send a text to his business phone and let him know where his patient is and how his patient's doing. He didn't have that. And I didn't, that's the one thing I say dislike. I'm not saying that's just maybe because it's a public hospital, that's how they move. But I would rather like that care, especially in something as serious as this is. But I digress. So that's what they're aiming to do. So now for the next, in my mind, I think about like these numbers. What is the next? I think about things like 14 days, right? So in 14 days, he lost 20 pounds. What can they do in the next week or two to stabilize him, to slow down the amount of muscle mass he's losing, but also get his blood pressure and just things in his blood to a higher level where they feel comfortable enough? Because the only way my brother's going to have a fighting chance is if they need to give him the first round of chemo. They have to. The cancer's not taking a break for no one. It's not. So the quicker that they do this, the better. And to be honest with you, they was actually pretty quick on getting him the thing for chemo. It was actually pretty quick. Like by the time they found out he had chemo, which was like a week later, I hate to say it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks. It might be more. It might be less than 6 weeks. But the quickest amount of time was about 2 weeks once you got the diagnosis. And that was with him, his little pull in the hospital. So it makes me sit there and think, I wonder how it is with anyone else who might have been going through this. And because they saw how severe, how much weight loss he lost, maybe if they would have known it was, maybe if we would have spoke to them during the process, maybe they would have pushed up a week before, because a week before then, my brother was in a it was in better condition. But then maybe he would have able to give him chemo then, and he might have came home and he would have really lost it because he was already declining so much, and then boom, the chemo would have been top, and we would have just like, what the hell's going on? So it's unfortunate. So now they're fixing him, and in my mind, I'm gonna see where that in 2 weeks. If they don't slow it down, my brother's losing 10 pounds a week. I don't know how much more weight he can really lose. I need them to get him eating and get his, but I want them to be able to give him the first round. This is what he wanted. He wanted to try the first round of chemo to see how it would react and how his body react. And as I told my mom, yeah, you're going to give him this first round of chemo, but I told her, like, this isn't like you take one chemo and then, like, you have drastic effects, the day after. You never know. Miracles happen. He could take one round and he gets a whole bunch of function back, and he might be able to eat again and walk a little better. I hope and pray that's what happens. But I told my mom, listen, chemo is something, and she knows what it is. She's seen it. It knocks you out. My brother worked in radiology. He saw it for 25 years. So it's like they know the reality of it, and I don't. I just know the book science of it. I don't know how it actually looks, and I'm just still worried. Like, this is just taking too long. But I get it, and I'm just making these video files just so I can look back at it and see what I was mentally going through and how I was figuring out or whatever. Just see how I was mentally. Because it's a big difference, guys, for anybody who's watching, or girls. If you lost a friend or family member, or shoot, if you ever go through it, you understand it. It is something that you just have no control over. And I know people will sit there and really say this wish part. Like, they wish they would have known a lot earlier. So they would have, it's just a lot of wish you shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I had to understand that it's out of my control. Like, I like to be in control of a lot of things, and this is out of my control. But now I sit there and think, I remember my brother saying he has this little pain right here by his stomach. He was saying that for a year, but he would think it was gas pain. So he was taking like laxatives. He thought he was constipated. And the thing is, he was constipated a couple times, mildly constipated. But he didn't know. He was losing weight, but it wasn't as drastic as it was in the last 2 months or 6 weeks or a month. It was not. It was like, think about it like this. Think about it like a slope, and it's like it's coming down slowly, and you can never really see the changes until you really start seeing some of the side effects and effects of it. Then it's like, okay, a little faster, faster, faster. Then once my brother got the diagnosis, it was just like, just went straight down. It's crazy. So we'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks. I'll probably make a couple of more other videos because I'm gonna probably see my brother. Either I call him or I text him or I go see him. It's about a half an hour drive away from me. But I try my best to keep structure in my life for me personally, because if I stay in that mindset, it affects me. I don't drink any, even though I have alcohol there. Some of that alcohol has been here for a very long time. Whenever I'm going through something emotionally, I don't run to the bottle. It's not me. I remember I did that during the COVID, and that was like the last time I ever excessively drunk because everybody was depressed, you know. And since then, I said, hell no, I'm not gonna run to that. So usually when I'm feeling depressed, I run to go to the gym. I run the streets in the sense of running and jog to not focus on it. Um, I do other things. I don't smoke weed or nothing like that. And I don't even go to the vices of like having sex with a bunch of women or anything like that. Like I'd say it like this. The best way for me to build myself is to hurt myself. And the only way to hurt myself and grow is to go to the gym. That's it. That's the only way that I can grow from this for me personally. So if my brother's hurting, I feel as if I need to go hurt my muscles too. That's my own little way of feeling some kind of connected to the situation. Of course, it's brother, but it's one of the best ways that I get through, you know? So I really appreciate for anyone watching this. But yeah, man, my brother's situation continued to get worse. And we'll see where we get to next. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. You have a good day.